Well, howdy, howdy. This is Cubbypotamus, and it's a great day because we are looking at new pots. Now, these past couple weeks have been kind of interesting. Kind of had to explain, like, how my mind works, and make sense of that, and I've come up with some new, I guess, just ideas to just kind of explain my autistic mind. Now, the first concept I'd like to go into is the idea of half brain and full brain. Now, full brain is what's going on in my head about all the time. It's always spinning 100 miles an hour, always thinking about things, always wound up, always excited or sad, always feeling strong emotions. And then half brain. Half brain is the space between me and people most of the time. Right? I'm not talking in full brain. I'm just kind of trying to pay attention to people and process them while my mind is spinning really fast and working in this place where I can't really think that well. And I'm not really aware of what's going on that much. It's very hard to get out of my head. Right? And I think that most people have only seen the half-brain me, based on my work and daily life and whatnot. And I guess I just kind of stay hidden. That's not a bad thing. I find that going full brain gets me in trouble. I get wound up. I can kind of offend people, I guess. And just look very strange because I get so excited and so wound up that people think I am crazy. Yeah, which is kind of a good thing, but the consequences aren't that good. I mean, I enjoy being this way, but you get judged a lot for that, you start talking faster, get excited and jumping or whatever, raising your voice, and people think that you're like manic or something, which I'm not. So yeah, half brain is just another way we mask and protect ourselves. Made the mistake of going full brain at work before. Bad idea. Don't use your brain at work. Or full brain. And another idea that I've been thinking about is just trying to describe the way that my mind revs quickly, and my emotions are very volatile, and I'm intense. And I like to think of that in terms of motorcycle engines, right? I think most people, their brains kind of run like a Harley. Now Harleys are big 2-cylinder engines, and they rev slowly. They run relatively slowly. Usually 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 RPMs. They might go up to 8,000 or 9,000, 10,000 RPMs, but they rev slowly, up and down slowly, and are mellow. They're large capacity, and they don't make a lot of horsepower for how big the engine is. Now, and probably a lot of autistic people, are like a 600cc race bike, sport bike, and that revs quickly, right? Harley's my emotions are extremely fast. 0 to supernova in 2 seconds. From baseline up that 0 to tears of joy, 2 seconds. I feel things extremely fast and extremely intense. And most people, I think, just don't get that. I think that if I were like that, there'd be something wrong with me. I'd be mentally ill, or right? Or they'd be in some sort of state of emergency. Well, that's just kind of how my brain works. It's very volatile, very intense. And it's also just kind of the way that my brain develops power, right? A Harley engine develops most of its power in the low RPMs, right? And a 600 sport bike, it'll go 16,000 RPMs. Very fast, high power, but it develops its power towards the top, right? And my brain is most powerful when it's running hard, right? So actually, the faster my brain gets, the more excited I get. The smarter I am, and the more intense. It's kind of a weird thing, It's like, you ever seen the pedals where they pedal around and it makes the light bulb go up, Faster you pedal, the light bulb goes faster. It's kind of like that. Right, so if you stop my brain from going revving high, then I kind of stop it from making its power, right? Normal people, Harley engine people, they can develop their power down low, but, if you keep me from revving, you cripple my brain. It's kind of a weird thing, I look like a pretty normal person. And Rain Man was lucky because he was weird dude, and people don't think he's normal, but when you can hide it, people don't really assume that you just function that differently. And it's hard, because when you get revving and you get excited or sad or feeling incredibly strong emotions, and you're not aware of what you look like, you can really freak people out, right? Or appear insecure or crazy or whatever. I am 10 minutes away from about everything. I'm 10 minutes away from just turning a love interest off, getting a little excited or something, and they lose all attraction for you. 10 minutes from losing a friend, 10 minutes from losing your job. There aren't many things that I'm not subject to losing when I kind of, I wouldn't say lose control, but, just be myself. Be the person that's spinning in my head and that excited person. And to normal people, that just looks crazy, but that's just how I am. It's how I work, and it's so hard for people to, I think, understand that I'm not like them, right? So much of, people's ideas about people and how things are supposed to work just kind of rely on the assumption that, everyone thinks a certain way. Everyone is neurotypical, right? And that if you're not acting that way, then something is wrong with you, right? And or you look normal, so your brain must not function differently, and you're not really that different from me. And if you try and talk about it, people are like, oh, you think you're special. And it's like, I wish you knew what this was like. You know, it's not easy. You know, just because people can, I guess, blend, you know, and kind of fit in, you know, just doesn't mean that they're maybe doing well or are normal. And I think that's pretty natural, you know, for people to assume that, that people think like them, right? You know, that's an assumption that I always made, and it kind of messed me up because I would try and, you know, interact with people like they thought like I did. And, you know, thought that what made sense to them made sense to me. And no, you get in a lot of trouble that way. And it's taken a long time to, I think, just kind of understand it, you know. Understand the ways that my mind works differently. And people as a whole, you know, it's taken a long time for people to understand, well, just autism. You know, because of that, because people think that, you know, everyone thinks the same, you know, and it's natural to assume that other people think like you, right? Anyways, so that's just a couple, just ideas that have been rolling around in my head. This was cubbypotamus, and maybe I'll see you around.